Hey y'all, Kevin here, and this is Pure Reviews, where I review all kinds of products. So if you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And in particular, if you find this video useful or helpful, be sure to hit that like button before you go. Maybe even leave a comment that simply says thanks. Really helps out the channel a ton, and I greatly appreciate it. So today's product is available online, and I've included a link in the description that'll take you directly to the product page where you can see the current price point, see if it's on sale, all that lovely information. But what is it? So today's product I want to share with you is nothing else but the Nintendo Switch 2. So if you are in the market for a new gaming system, or you're thinking about upgrading to the Nintendo Switch 2, we're going to cover the basic features right here in the video so you can decide, is it worth upgrading or getting for yourselves? So first off, once you open up the box, you're naturally going to get a lot of parts and pieces. You're going to get the user manual. It's pretty self-explanatory. You are going to get the remote control here that you can link on the Joy-Cons to, just like the original Switch. I don't really use this. I prefer to use the Joy-Cons, or I prefer to use the Pro controllers. It just feels a little bit more comfortable when it has in my hand. But if you're on a budget, it is included, and it's a nice little addition. Now, you are also going to get these little straps here. You'll put this on your Joy-Cons when you have them in free mode. They have obviously the little thing, so you'll go flying out. Now, a big thing with the Joy-Cons on this version is they do have the mouse mode, and so you're going to notice on the pads on the bottom, they have this little smooth area. That's going to allow it to kind of on a desk surface, use it in a mouse mode, if you will. There is no really games when it comes to the mouse mode right now to utilize, but it's very easy just to attach this. You're just gonna go ahead and snap it on, and then you'll be able to drive it around in that mouse mode when those games come out. And then to remove it, you just simply pull it off. Once again, very easy to remove. Now, speaking of the Joy-Cons, very comfortable in the hand as far as the material, and the big upgrade with them is when it comes to the Switch itself, they have a nice magnetic click. So they are very, very secure. They don't fall off, and they're very easy to attach and remove, especially compared to the old Nintendo Switch. There is a little button here on the back, which allows you to quickly and easily remove them and then go ahead and start playing. But overall, the Joy-Cons are very, very comfortable. It was a big upgrade as far as utilizing them. You're gonna have all your standard buttons on the front, and then you're gonna have your paddle buttons on the side. So very, very easy to utilize. Now, naturally, before we go into the Switch itself, we're gonna go cover the docking station. So here is the new docking station. As you can see, it's got a little rounded corners here. Basically, it's very similar to the other one, but it has some nice little upgrades. The first off, it does have a fan built into this, so that way your Switch stays nice and cool. As you can see, it has the venting on the side. They are going to include 2 USB ports on the side. Those are going to be nice to charge up controllers, or if you end up getting their camera system, you'll plug that in right there on the side. Now, the back case does remove, and that is where you're going to be able to plug in the micro type C little power cord right there, and then you're going to have the HDMI port, and then if you do want to manually plug this into LAN, you can do this. However, it does have the Wi-Fi 6 connection, and that is how I connect it. It connects super, super fast. I have fiber internet, have no issues with slow speed connecting via the wireless, but if you do wish to use that LAN port, it is there, and then there is a slot so all your cables can come out. Now, you do want to use the HDMI cable that comes with it, and the type USB-C as far as the charging adapter. Very, very easy to use, but the HDMI is designed for the higher 4K footage. Obviously, if I have a nice fast other HDMI cable, you can do that, but you don't want to use the old one if you are upgrading to the Switch 2. You want to go ahead and use their new cable. But overall, the docking station works very, very well. Sits there, fits nice and tight when utilizing it. So if you like to go ahead and have things docked, you can do that. Very, very easy to utilize. Now, one of the big advantages of having it docked, this does have 4K footage. It also does do HDR. Do note though, if you are in 4K with your TV, it can only do the up to 60 frames per second. However, the Switch can do up to 120 frames per second per certain games, but that has to be on the lower res, on the 1080p or the 2K, if you will, to get that 120 frames per second. Now let's cover the Switch itself. So this is a nice big upgrade. If you have the original Switch, you're gonna notice some nice big improvements on the screen itself. If you have the OLED one, it's a little bit less of a jump, but it is that 4K screen. It is a 7.9 inch, so the screen is a lot bigger as far as utilizing it. To give you an example, the old one is a 6.2 inch, so it's easier to see the games, especially I find it a lot easier as far as playing when you are in travel mode. Now, speaking of travel, one of the big things I love about this is the new stand. So the old one just had a standard little kickstand. It was kind of a flimsy. This has a full easy stand. You can put it in tabletop mode and adjust it to whatever height that is comfortable for viewing, which I absolutely love. So when traveling, you can sit down at the kitchen table, whatnot, and you can easily play. Or if you have a bunch of friends and you're at a coffee shop or something like that, you can play across from each other and collaborate in some great games. So the new kickstand, absolutely love the design of it. Works very, very, very well. Now, hidden underneath the kickstand is gonna be the slot for the micro SD express card. So if you do want to have that extra storage, it does come with 256 gigabytes of storage within the Switch. But if you wanna go ahead and get more storage, especially if you are capturing videos or photos, or you like to download a lot of games, because you're probably gonna be switching over more to their Express card games, and it's just gonna eat up a lot more. So be sure to pick up a micro SD express card. How you're gonna know it's an express card is it's gonna have the EX symbol on it, and those cards can go ahead and they can be up to the 256 gigabytes, which is what I just got, but you can go all the way up to 2 terabytes. So you can get plenty of storage if you wish to have that as far as aspects of it. Now, as far as the screen, it comes in, like I said, nice and crisp and clear when playing the games. Absolutely love it. And with this kickstand, you can get up to 150-degree viewing angle because it's fully adjustable. Now, another big thing that they've kind of changed is your standard USB-C port is still on the bottom. However, if you do have it in desktop mode, they did include a USB-C port on the top, so that way you can plug this in and keep this charging if you wish. Or if you have the camera, once again, you can plug it in here and have the camera sitting next to you. Next to the port is going to be your slot for your game cartridges. Simply pop that in. That's going to work for all your old Nintendo Switch game cartridges, so you can still utilize those. As far as setting up and transferring the data, super easy. Simply going to turn on, you're going to have both kind of Nintendos next to each other, have them both turned on, and it will automatically wirelessly connect through your network and download all your various games and all your saved files as long as they're compatible. It worked flawlessly. I had no issues. It took about 15 to 20 minutes to fully go through that whole process. So do note, you don't want to do that just kind of in a run. Now, another thing you're going to notice, there is a C button on one of the Joy-Cons or the Pro Controllers. That is if you're going to have the camera, you'll be able to capture that footage and do that live streaming. So if you are a gamer, naturally it's going to be a big game changer for you because you can actually stream yourself when you're playing those games, all built with the built-in native app. Or if you have a bunch of friends over and you want to connect with them around the world, you can easily do that as well, which is another great feature. Now, some of the basic tech of it, like I said, it has that Wi-Fi 6.0. Obviously, it has the Bluetooth connection. So if you do want to get some connect some headphones, like for example, the Sonos headphones I have, absolutely love them. You can get that 3D kind of surround sound aspect with it by connecting it via Bluetooth. So that works very well itself. It does have a 5,220 mAh battery. It's really hard to tell you how much battery life you're gonna get in this thing on hand mode. You're gonna get anywhere from 2 to 6.5 hours of battery life. And that's really gonna depend on what games you're playing, what the screen resolution is, how bright everything is. That's gonna really affect your gameplay. So I do recommend, if you are traveling or whatnot, always have a charging cable with you, and because you may only get a couple hours or 3 hours or whatnot of playtime before you have to charge up the device. So do keep that in mind. But absolutely have been loving the new Switch. I love the big screen size. I love how comfortable it is still to hold in the hand. Works great both docked and in traveling. So if you need to upgrade right now, maybe not necessarily because of filming of this. It's right here at the launch. There's not a ton of games. Mario Kart World obviously is a blast. And there are some great games, but they are hard to kind of find the console. So you can wait a little bit, but it is absolutely worth upgrading at some point if you do have the original Switch. And if you're a big Nintendo fan, you're looking to try out the new console, totally recommend checking this one out. If there's something I haven't quite covered that you're a little curious about, feel free to hit me up in the comment section. I do typically respond to those. That is it till the next video. You guys take it easy. Later. Congrats, you made it to the end of the video. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciated for the support. Be sure to hit that like button on the video. It really, really does help out. And if you have not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell if you want to get notified when new videos come out on this channel.